Now in 2010, when the World Cup was here in South Africa, the whole country was ecstatic. Everyone went crazy. How were Bafana themselves, like the mindset of the players going into the tournament? There's a lot of pressure, I'm sure, on the team. And how did you manage to cope with that?
Yeah, well, we had a very mature squad. We didn't have many young players in the team, so that I think probably helped to be able to soak up the pressure. We also a year before played in the Confederations Cup in 2009, where we came up against Brazil and Spain, who were number one and number two in the world at the time. So although we didn't beat them, we acquitted ourselves pretty well. We lost to Brazil 1-0 in the semis. And then I think 4-3 in the third and fourth playoff against Spain, you know. So that gave us encouragement. That gave us confidence that we were able to compete with the best in the world. Yeah, I think South African athletes are very stoic. You know, we've got very strong characters, especially footballers. If you consider the backgrounds that most of our footballers come from, so we soaked it up. I think one of the problems were before 2010 we spent 4 to 5 months in camp, mostly outside of the country. So we went to Brazil for a month, we went to Germany for a month, we were in hotels, you know, well away from the build-up and the public excitement, you know, building up to the tournament. And I felt that a lot of our players didn't actually realize what this tournament truly meant to the public, and we missed a lot of that build-up. So I think if we were exposed a little bit more to the build-up, I think we would have been more set psychologically and about what it truly meant. But yeah, ultimately, you know, it was a case of goal difference, you know, not allowing us to progress. So those 3 group games that we played, I think again we acquitted ourselves well. Obviously, the Uruguay game was a massive letdown, and which was, you know, the game that caused us to not progress further.
Yeah, I started hating Luis Suarez after that game.
We all did. We all did.
I remember the game against France. I was moving from Durban to Joburg at the time, so my mom and I were driving up, and I couldn't wait to finally arrive so I could watch the game. And you guys literally killed France in that game, and I was like so upset because you never went through to the next round.
Yeah, you know, to be honest with you, I think most teams at that World Cup would have beaten that French team because they were just psychologically, you know, messed up. If you remember what happened with their coach, Dominique, the players ultimately didn't want to play for him. And, you know, into a situation like that, where there's no camaraderie or willingness to win as a group, then you're there for the taking. It doesn't matter if you Brazil or Trinidad and Tobago, you know, teams will smell blood, and that's what we did, and we did very well. It was just a pity that I think we needed to beat them by 4-0 if we were going to progress. I think Mexico and Uruguay drew at the same time, and I think there was a stage in that French game where we were 2-0 up, and we almost took our foot off the accelerator when I think we could have gone and scored a few more goals, and perhaps things might have been a bit different then.
After South Africa got knocked out of the World Cup, what were your plans moving forward from then, like as a team, as a country? Because I'm sure like the World Cup was like what everything was building up to, and then after that, it's quite hard to move forward. Am I right?
Yeah, you know, our mother body, Safa, I think missed a perfect opportunity to capture that euphoria and carry on with a momentum and create new fans for the local game and for Bafana. But they missed out on that opportunity, and they let the euphoria die down. and they weren't able to capture new members, so to speak. South Africa, when it comes to local football, is still very divided. We have a large football fan base, but quite a large percentage of them follow European football and don't watch the local game. So I thought that was a great opportunity for them to capture new fans, and for the league to take advantage of possible marketing opportunities to create new fans for the clubs, our local clubs. So that was disappointing. For myself personally, I wanted to carry on playing for the national team, but Pizza Mosemani took over the national team and did not include me in future squads. So I could understand that, most of the older guys were going to be excluded. He needed to refresh the team. But I felt that perhaps he didn't quite get the balance right with youth and experience, or players who possibly had the right character build up. So it was disappointing for me not to be included, but I understood why.